New tonight, we're hearing from the man who was the project director for the Ocoee Whitewater Center.
The 1996 Olympic venue was destroyed by fire yesterday, and the TBI is investigating the cause. Our Elise Zwick talked to Paul Wright about his memories. Elise?
Well, the Ocoee Whitewater Center brought worldwide attention to the Ocoee region in 1996 when it hosted the Canoe Slalom Olympic Games. Wright tells me just how fascinating building and planning for this historic event was and how he reacted seeing his team's iconic creations in flames.
A physical reaction. I saw that and it was just like horrific, because I knew how many people had spent chunks of their lives, invested their souls in this place out there, and that for whatever reasons it was up in flames.
Paul Wright was the project director for the Ocoee Whitewater Center from 1992 to 1996. He says the early days of planning were fascinating. He had just returned from a project in Puerto Rico and was working in Atlanta when the news broke the 1996 Olympics would be held in Polk County. Later, his boss told him he'd be in charge of this project.
About 92, we were sure we were going to do this. It took a full year and a half before Tennessee had the commitments to tell the Atlantic Committee Tennessee was going to do it.
Wright says $16.5 million was spent in total. They created a physical model with a 1/10 scale of the river to understand how to constrict the river channels to create rapids and conditions that would benefit competitors. Wright's team broke ground August of 1995 and put the finishing touches on the course just one day before the Olympics started. It was important to him that the community had a staple to remember after the Olympic Games were all said and done.
He had a course that, like we said earlier, was probably the greatest whitewater course in the world, but nothing to anchor it in people's minds. As somebody drives by that area, for them the Whitewater Center was that building.
Now all that remains of the Ocoee Whitewater Center is destroyed walls and singed memories. Polk County's executive says they hope to replace the center. Wright says hope is great, but action has to be taken to make a difference.
You know, we're not in the business of building venues for the Olympics, but we are in the business of rural economic development. And that's where the Whitewater Center can really make a difference to the Ocoee region, is bring events back to the area.
Wright says what's done is done. It's about how we move forward from here, and suggests if and when the building is back in place, the right operational team should be there to run it. Reporting live in the studio, Elise Zwick, Local 3 News.